G'day guys, how you going? I thought I'd just go for a bit of a run up through the hills, just a short one. And while I'm doing it, I thought I might express what it is about this bike that I actually like. And I did mention I was going to do that in my beginning of the season video. So yeah, this particular bike, what I like about these is, well, many things actually, and there's not a lot to not like about these bikes. But first and foremost, well, obviously the power. I mean, when you're almost half as big as a leader bike again, and as exciting as a leader bike is, these things go beyond exciting to just insane. But having said that, that type of insanity power, when you're cruising all around in the local street sort of speeds or highway speeds, that kind of power just makes it one of the most easiest, slackest bikes to ride. Overtaking, going up hills, doing whatever you want to do, there's beyond power there. On a leader bike, you got to go back, you know, at least 2 gears to get some giddy up in them. Whereas this thing, one of these, all you do is just crack open the throttle and you know, hope that you can hold on. So yeah, power is a big selling point for me. The next, and very close to, is the comfort level. Anybody that's watched a lot of videos on ZX14s, 14Rs, ZZR14s, whatever you want to call them, depending on what country you're in, you'll always hear a reference to the comfort of these bikes. They are roomy, they are big, and they are very, very comfortable. The suspension on them, I personally would have to categorize them as plush. I think there's no other way I could put it. Is it a racing bike suspension? No. Is it a racing bike? No. But what it is a hyper bike, and that's really to get on your big expressways, your freeways, your big open road sort of country locations, and just crank it, you know, if that's what you want to do. But that's what they're designed to do. Long range, high speed touring at absolute comfort and at absolute ease of power. Oh, I'm going to turn right up here. I haven't done this little run for a while. It's a nice run actually out through here. Alright, let me just straighten that up a bit. Yeah, good enough. Yeah, so I love the power, I love the comfort, I love the ease of riding. I mean, the clutch and the gears, hydraulic clutch, 6-speed transmission, super smooth transmission as soon as you clutch in, and whether you're levering your foot up or you're levering it down, it's like the gearbox just sucks it into that particular gear, up or down, which is really cool. So it's absolutely no effort on the clutch. The braking on these bikes, well, it's a heavier bike than a 1000cc or, you know, Super Sport or something like that, and they put out more power than a 1000cc bike. They got more top end speed than a 1000cc bike, so naturally the brakes are equivalent to the bike. And again, making braking all the way down at normal speed limits of 60 kilometers an hour, 80 kilometers an hour, 100, 110, whatever that is in mile an hour, it just makes this thing a one finger, you know, braking ease. You know, a panic stop is just no effort on this thing whatsoever. The handling on this bike, well, again, it's no mountain goat. But does it handle? Yes, it does. It actually handles surprisingly well. And why I say that is because it has one of the longest wheelbases of motorbikes. But what Kawasaki did in terms of the handling is they made sure with the ZXs that a tremendous amount of the weight of the bike was right down very low, even though the bike has got a high wheel clearance off the ground. G'day mate, how you doing? But I've not come into a situation where I've felt like this bike wasn't going to handle. One thing years back when I first got this bike that I had in my mind is that it is a longer wheelbase bike, it is a heavier bike, so naturally you have to put more input into your corners. You can't hop on this and expect the amount of input you would have on, say, a 400cc bike or even a 1000cc bike. You have to put in a lot of physical effort if you're going to make this thing turn hard and turn quick. But again, back in 60, 80 and 100 km/h land, which is, hey, where we should all be, and we all are, handling this thing, yeah, it's an absolute breeze. You know, can you maneuver? Oh shit, yeah, you can maneuver it very well. You know, it'll dodge anything you want to. So yeah, and probably the final thing, I just love the look of them. You know, these things are an absolutely gorgeous bike. They've hung on to this body style for many years now. Yes, there's been various different generations of them in terms of tuning performance, tuning setup, all that sort of stuff. But the basic look up until this year, 2024, since they very first came out, the Ninjas basically looked exactly the same. I think they've done a headlight change and they've probably done a little bit of an instrument cluster change in terms of how that's laid out. But apart from that, why change something that's really good? But if you've been riding a fully qualified licensed rider and you've been riding bikes for around about 12 months plus, can you ride one of these things? Oh hell yeah, this thing's easy to ride, deceivingly easy to ride, I might say, because it does do everything as you would expect. But where I say deceiving is unless you're watching the speedometer or watching what you're doing approaching a corner, you could come unstuck really quick. The calibration of the throttle on this bike is excellent, and when I say that, what I'm actually talking about is the actual ratio of the throttle to power, what you're getting out of it. A novice rider could hop on this and they're going to get exactly what they put into their wrist in terms of what they're going to get out in power. So I urge you, if you're interested in one of these bikes, bit apprehensive because of the power and the height that most of these bikes have got on YouTube, I urge you, take one for a spin, but acclimatise yourself to the power they've got. It wouldn't be a wise move at all to hop on one of these and just crank it, because like I said, a 1000cc bike is an exciting bike to ride, but these are just beyond that level to insanity, literally. So on closing, I'm just nearly about at my destination. There's much to like about one of these bikes, and the only real way you're going to find that out is to hop on one yourself and try it out if that's what you've been thinking about doing. They will deliver everything you've heard about, in terms of the comfort, in terms of the power, in terms of the stopping ability. It's all there. I mean, you got to remember, at the time this was out on the market, or these came out on the market, they're Kawasaki's absolute top of the line animal. And of course we all know that the opposition to it is the Hayabusa. but that in itself has got a different I don't know, psychology about that particular bike. Yeah, it's got its own theme, if you like, what the Hayabusa is all about. So yeah, if you're interested, certainly take one out for a spin. It's only going to go as hard as you twist the wrist. It's not out of control in terms of that, providing you roll it on and do everything, you know, sedately. You'll find just even doing that, most bikes would be absolutely struggling to keep up with you. So in closing, guys, yeah, if you're thinking about getting a Ninja, that's my thoughts. And again, as I claimed at my opening seizing video, I was going to express my thoughts about the Ninja. So there you go. Alright guys, short and sweet, but take it easy.